Hi, Don.
Hi, how you doing?
Tired, ready for a nap.
Me too.
Oh, one more.
Jidge, how you feeling? You up and moving around pretty good?
Oh, I jogged around the point today.
Oh, cool. Cool.
I got another story for you if you believe that.
Edge, I missed you. I was going around there too. I missed you. I must have went the other way.
Yeah, I bet you were. No, it's today's week 3, and the therapist says we're going to try to get you up on that flexation to 120 at least. And yesterday I went there, they measured it was 125.
Oh, nice.
Good for you.
Head of the game.
Overachiever.
Yes, you are. Can't keep a good guy down, huh?
Well, I don't know about the good guy, but I don't like to be kept down. Hello, Richard. How are you? Marcia, how are you?
Judge.
Alan, you and I will be speaking.
Hello. You have a list, Judge?
All right here, kid.
That's scary.
You ought to be inside this.
Scary. That's even scarier, that thought.
Erica knows.
Don't put her on the spot.
Just
Wait a minute.
keep
You mean
mute.
you haven't had enough conversations with Nancy that she's not in your head yet?
She tries like hell, Don. So tomorrow's the big day. No mask.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still going to wear it because I don't believe everybody's gotten their vaccine, and those
Well,
are also not going to be wearing them.
Of course. That's, I mean, how many people are going to say, I got it. Well, down at one place, I know that they're going to be asking for the card.
Well, all they have to do is make a photocopy of it and carry it
Well,
in their pocket.
can't do nothing about that. Life is. Good evening, Mr. Vandenhover.
Good evening. How are you? Hey, everybody, just a reminder that we do have the public hearing at 5:20 today.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
It's going to be, it's going to be a quite lengthy meeting tonight. So some things need to be said and, go from there. Yeah.
Gabe, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you want to make that announcement like I asked?
Yep. I just want to make sure everyone, when you're not speaking, please mute your phones. Mute the phone, mute the computer, so we can hear the people that are speaking. And I wrote it in the chat also.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yep.
Edwin, I just received your message on that earlier tonight. What was that again about Tim Doviash?
Okay, so we gave Tim, the council approved the first ward Falcons Fast Pitch Tournament for July 16th, 17th, and 18th. We did that 2 meetings back. Now, in the meantime, another one of the major tournaments came online and sucked his teams right out of his tournament. So what he's trying to do tonight is to see if we can amend that so that he can have his tournaments now on July 9th, 10th, and 11th, as opposed to July 16th, 17th, and 18th. And from what he told me, he did go through the rec department already and made sure that that there is no conflict for the fields.
Yeah, he did reach out to me, Edwin, and I also, he did, I'm sorry, the Parks Department did, and I told him to, I directed them to call you to make sure that those fields are still available, because I know that, you know, throughout the last couple of months, we've been filling these fields up quite a bit with the dates, so.
Absolutely. Now, what he told me was that he went through the rec department and through Patty.
Okay. Okay, so if those dates are available, I see no reason to grant that to him. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page tonight. We'll bring that up in the workshop.
He did say he would have submitted it for the next meeting, except for the time doesn't allow him to do that, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, sounds good. Don, you ready?
Yep.
Marty? Marty?
He's on mute.
Marty, you're on mute.
Marty, you muted.
Go on mute.
He must be ready. He's there.
Okay, Judge, you all set?
Yeah.
Nancy, you're good? All right, we'll get this ball rolling here. I'd like to call the workshop to order on May 18th of 2021. For call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Yeah.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at-large Vandenhuver.
Here, please stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll skip over the next 3. Communications of the mayor, disapproval messages. Mayor.
I don't have anything for this. Thank you.
Number 6, communication of the public and petitions. Edwin.
Number 1, request from Dunkirk Lighthouse Board inviting Mayor Roses and council members to their 33rd annual Memorial Day service on Monday, May 31st, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. at the Dunkirk Lighthouse grounds.
Just receive and file.
Correct. Number 2, request from James A. Moscato II of 280 Lakeshore Drive West to purchase an unopened paper street on West Point Drive Avenue.
Any discussion, council? Motion to refer this to the city attorney and, I'm sorry, to the, city assessor, Erica Munson, and to city attorney.
So move.
By Williams.
Nichols.
Nichols. All right. Number 3.
Number 4, loudspeaker application from, number 3, request from Joshua Latona of El Rigby Theater, request to use Memorial Park for his 2021 movies on the Lake series on the following dates: June 19th, 25th, July 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, possible rain dates July 30th, August 6th, 13th, and 20th. Also requesting to use electricity and requesting trash cans for volunteer cleanup.
Any discussion, council?
No, Josh had done this the year before.
Excuse me. Okay.
Is that so, Richard?
Does June 19th interfere with anything that the Juneteenth committee is doing?
I can check with them, but I believe that they're at the tail end of that, maybe the 20th and the 21st.
The 19th is a Saturday.
Okay, I will check with them, and if you want, I will make the arrangements with Josh Latona if that date conflicts with theirs.
All right, and then what about the July 2nd date? Is that going to interfere with anything that we do with music on the pier? If we can have it 4th of July, anything? Are we doing anything 4th of July weekend or just fireworks? Would July 2nd be a date that he'd be able to be down there?
So on, for the 4th of July, what, we're still waiting to hear, but we are planning, in case they do open up to have a 4th of July fireworks. We're hoping to have entertainment on the 4th of July. And that's all that we are planning at this point. So unless they open up, then we can make more concrete plans and add more to it. However, we don't have the sponsorship as of yet. That position is still vacant. So, but we are planning to do something for the 4th of July. And especially if it opens up, we will have the fireworks as well as some entertainment on the 4th.
Okay.
Would you recommend that we okay them to do the movie on July 2nd or leave that open in case the city can do something?
I think if the city could do something, it would be up to this council to decide, but I believe that the community would probably benefit if we could do both. If we could fit both of those things in, that would be great. If we cannot fit them both in, then it would be up to this council to decide what they feel should be done. But the 4th of July, we do have events that cater more to the adults, whereas these movies are probably going to cater to more to the youth. So probably we could fit them both in.
Okay.
Well, my question was, are they going to be having, usually at the 4th of July, there are vendors down at Memorial Park as well, with waffles and all the different types of food. Are they going to be doing that, or is it not going to be opened up to that as yet?
As of yet, we have not reached out to any of the vendors. But if it's possible, then we would like to do that. So again, everything depends on the restrictions being lifted. So if we can do that, we would like to do that.
May I? So we have had an inquiry from Taylor's Doughboy, and basically based on what I was told today, I am going to be calling them back and letting them know if we are interested in having vendors, then I will let them know to reach out to the proper city authorities.
All right, thanks, Edwin. Okay, so with that, we'll just, I mean, this is another thing we got to play by ear, but with the dates that he put on there, so maybe we could work around, Edwin, see if you can get a hold of him, just tell him that, you know, the circumstances that, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just, again, a carryover from the COVID year, so it's kind of tough to try to plan things and have things concrete, you know, without conflict. So we'll work with them and we'll work with everything else that we have going on if it does happen.
So right now we have a conflict on June 19th, possibly. I can reach out to both of those organizations and maybe they would allow the piggyback. But if it does conflict, I will let Joshua know about it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Edwin. So motion to refer this to the Parks Department, City Attorney, and the City Clerk.
Nichols.
So move.
Nichols, second by Williams.
Okay, number 4, loudspeaker application from Friends of Don Williams Jr. to use speakers and microphones on June 8th, 2021, from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. at the Brooks Pavilion of Point Gratiot for a fundraising event.
Any discussion, council? Just gonna use my usual. I don't have to read the whole thing. It's gonna be pretty much the same for all these. We got quite a few permits, so I need a motion to refer to appropriate departments as well as approved subject to appropriate insurance as usual condition.
So moved.
By Stoyl,
Nichols,
second by Nichols. Clerk call the roll.
Number 5, loudspeaker application from McKenna Academy of Dance to use amplifier on June 10th through 12th, 2021, from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Brooks Pavilion of Point Gratiot for a dance recital.
Same thing. It's gonna be my usual stuff, guys.
Yes, sir.
By a first
First,
by
Nichols,
Bamanto, second by Nichols.
Number 6, loudspeaker application from Shauna Ippolito to use speakers and an amp on June 19th, 2021, from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. at the Cook's Pavilion of Point Gratiot for a birthday party.
Any discussion? It's gonna be the usual. I need a first
first,
by Bamanto,
Nichols,
Nichols, second.
Number 7, loudspeaker application from Josh Latona of L. Rigby Theater to use loudspeakers beginning June 19th, 2021, from 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. at Memorial Park for movies on the lake.
Any discussion, council?
that's the same date, Paul. June 19th.
Yeah, like I said, we'll just figure that out when Edwin gets hold of them.
Yes, sir.
So if it doesn't conflict, we'll just use the usual conditions. I need a first.
first,
Bamanto,
Second.
Williams.
Number 8, loudspeaker application from Christine Cruz Keefe to use the DJ equipment and speakers on July 3rd, 2021, from 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Hose Foregrounds of Point Gratiot for a birthday party.
Any discussion, council? Be the same. Need a first.
first,
So moved.
Romano, Williams.
Second.
Okay. Number 9, loudspeaker application from Fritz Bocher on behalf of the First Ward Falcons Club to use speakers and sound equipment on June 1, 2021 to October 1, 2021, from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. for outside club functions.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, Paul, we had some discussion about this yesterday. What they're doing is it's not going to be a blanket one. It's going to be for this one, we're going to put it to June 5th and September 4th and 5th for their annual street dance.
Excellent.
And then if anything else pops up, they will put a separate loudspeaker application in.
What was the date in September?
4th and 5th.
September 4th and 5th, Saturday and Sunday, Labor Day weekend.
Got it.
And I'll make your motion, Paul.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, Williams and Nichols.
Number 10, loudspeaker application from Tim Ruiz of 24 East Front Street to use DJ equipment on July 3rd, 2021, from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. for a graduation party.
Any discussion, council? Usual conditions. I need a first.
First,
Second.
Bamanto, Williams.
Number 11, loudspeaker application from Raymond Rosas on behalf of the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival to use microphones, speakers, and amps for DJ and live bands on September 4th and 5th, 2021, from 12 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. at the lot adjacent to the Clarion and Tim Hortons for the first annual Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, Paul, that's 10 and a half hours of loudspeaker permit. I thought we were only able to do 2 or 4, depending on what the event is.
That's right on the Waterfront District. That's in the H1 overlay.
Yeah. Has anybody gotten to us yet on where that H1 overlay is? Well, yes, I sent an email yesterday. I heard nothing today about where the H1 is, where the H1 overlay is.
I don't know. I'm thinking that, when we do the 4th of July, I mean, it's an all day event out there also, Don. So, I mean, it's a one day.
That's a city, right? That's a city sponsored event too.
I don't believe there is any restrictions allowing for a minimal amount of time, just so you know.
Well, we used to have, if it was an individual not open to the public, it was usually 2 hours. And if it was open to the public, it was 4 hours. I remember that being right on the loudspeaker permit in years past. I'm just with the events from yesterday and worrying about all this H1 district. I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody's playing under the same rules with all of this.
All right.
So if you're allowed 10 and a half hours, then we're allowed 10 and a half hours.
Again,
Okay, so
I don't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Again, I don't believe there are any restrictions regarding time unless, of course, this council wishes to do that. There are some events where, more time is allotted, and there's other events where you control that time limit. But that I'm aware of, there are no time limits that prevent us from approving this.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So listen,
In
why
that
don't we?
case, I'll make the motion then.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Richard, why don't you just look into that just to make sure there's nothing on the books, and then we'll okay this. I mean, it's if it does pass, we'll just take a look at that. Just make sure that we got everything covered, and if we need to adjust, we'll need to adjust. All right. Thanks.
I believe a motion was made, sir.
Not
Yes.
yet. William,
All right.
Second,
Yeah.
second
second.
by Bamanto.
Andrew,
Thank you. Number 12, loudspeaker application from Scott Mikas on behalf of the Marauder Trotter to use microphone speaker system on July 3rd, 2021 from 8:30 a.m. until 12 p.m. at Wright Park for the music and announcements during the Marauder Trotter event.
Any discussion, council? Be my usual again. Need a motion.
First,
Bamanto,
I'll second.
Williams.
Number 13, request from Scott Mikas to host their 6th annual Marauder Trotter 5K run walk on Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. We are requesting the use of the race route along Lake Erie waterfront.
Any discussion, council?
No, did we get it cleared with the police department that this route would be advisable? I know we had changes in the last one.
Mike, Lieutenant,
He's on mute.
I believe that that is done the same way every year, is it not? The
Yeah,
same
it
route?
is. Yeah, it is.
They couldn't do the Lakefront Boulevard last year because of the break wall down there, the wall.
this is pretty much the same course that they're going to use for the June Hazelton race.
Right. I think the only issue with crossing is right at the pier. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And we'll have that covered.
Okay.
Mike,
Yeah, I'm just looking at the race route. It starts at Wright Park, Lakefront to Clarion, behind the Clarion, loop around the pier, Memorial Park towards Lakeshore Drive. They stay on the sidewalk back to the pier, and they end up in the back of the Clarion. That's good. Then they go on the path to the Lakefront Boulevard. So, Mike, if you can just relay that to the police chief, as long as we get that okayed. I mean, as long as we have you guys, I'm going to refer that also for help anyways. So we always do. So I have no problem with that also. So we're good. I need a first by
second.
Pomato, second by Stoyle.
Number 14, request from Jesse McKenna on behalf of McKenna Academy of Dance requesting permission to use the Brooks Pavilion for their annual dance recital on June 11th and 12th. Excuse me. at 7 p.m. and rehearsals will take place on June 9th and 10th from 8 p.m. from 5 till 8, June 12th. I'm sorry, at 7 p.m. And rehearsals will take place on June 9th and 10th from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. They will be held at, the 12th will be held at the lower pavilion because they weren't able to get the Brooks Pavilion for that. All social distancing requirements will be observed and insurance will be provided as necessary.
So they did contact you already, Edwin, to make sure the dates are available for that?
We have her booked at the Brooks Pavilion for the first 3 days. And then she's moving down to the lower pavilion for the last day because the Brooks was already taken prior to that. Since she's going to be having people there that are going to come and pay and watch the recital, I told her that she was going to need to have insurance also in place for that.
Right, correct. Awesome. Thank you. Any other discussion, council? I need this to refer this to the city attorney, the city clerk, and also Parks Department.
Nichols?
Second.
Stoyl. Okay. Report standing committee, boards and commissions. Don?
Nothing for workshop.
Marty?
I'm good.
Judge?
Nothing for the shot.
Nancy?
Nothing for here.
Same here. All right, moving on to unfinished business. We do have that resolution I need to pull off the table to vote on after our public hearing, so just keep that in mind. That'd be unfinished. Going to pre-filed resolution.
Number 31, resolution authorizing lease to purchase one vehicle for police department through state bid number Papa Charlie 68978.
Any discussion, council? Number 32.
Resolution, excuse me, approving settlement of the city of Dunkirk versus MidFirst Bank and Midland Mortgage, a division of MidFirst Bank.
Any discussion, council? 33.
33, resolution authorizing agreement for consultant services for Brownfield Marketing Project, CNS Engineering Incorporated.
Any discussion, council? 34.
Number 34, resolution authorizing mayor to execute an agreement with Casella Waste Services for Packer lease.
Any discussion, council?
I believe, Mayor, this is a good resolution. We had one of their vehicles in service today, did we not?
I'll defer that question to our DPW director.
Yes.
Randy, wherever you are.
Yes, Councilman, we did. This is pretty much a name change. Best Way has been in business for a long time, and they recently closed shop and sold to Casella, who we've done business with as well. So it's the same rate, and we occasionally need it. We're trying to get permission to get to the transfer station. During COVID, the county has restricted us of making us go all the way to the landfill. So if we work on that, hopefully with these new changes with regulations, we'll be able to shorten our time period of use of this. So yes, we need it. Hopefully we won't need it as much. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I got.
35.
Number 35, resolution authorizing engineering services for installation of ventilation system at wastewater treatment plant.
Any discussion, council?
Does Randy want to do any explaining on this one?
Sure. I'd like to thank the 2693 and the 912 employees for working with the contractor to recognize that the new belt presses are going to need better ventilation than what the old presses were, and the engineer we've hired for phase 4 of the improvements to the wastewater plant is ready to do this fast track. We have a good contractor down there that can do that. I overrode the initial design of the garage doors down there that were going to be permanently closed. I put those on tracks with electronics, so at least during the summertime, they can get some fresh air in there. And then Councilman Williams called me and wanted to make sure that we're not going to put the odors into the first ward. So the ventilation system will ventilate for the employees and also will filter so that the odors don't escape the plant. So it's a good project. It was, quite frankly, an oversight on the initial engineering. We've changed engineering, and we're going to get that fixed on behalf of the employees and not adversely affect the first ward.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, 35. I'm sorry, 36.
Okay, I have, thank you for reminding me. Number 36 is the walk-on resolution 36-2021, May 18, 2021. By council members Nichols and Williams, authorizing increase the number of events for loudspeaker permits for social clubs summer 2021 only. Would you like me to read the entire resolution?
No, you're right. Any discussion, council?
Yeah, I just had one thought on that, Paul, with the chief, when he made the comment back to us on this, that if the clubs are doing that, maybe the club presidents could be in touch with any of the water front establishments to see if they are having any activities down there for their individual businesses, so they don't have a conflict, so that everybody's going to be happy. And I do realize how much the clubs do put into this community to support different activities. It just, you want everybody. I know COVID's been terrible on everything, but it's just, if they would all reach out, I just think that it would be a very workable situation. If they the club presidents talk to the different establishments to see if they're going to have any activities on such a date, so they could work together, so not one is overriding the other one. That was my concern.
Yeah, I know they usually do that. The clubs usually do that amongst themselves, so they kind of coordinate other events, when they don't have everything going on. But I think it's a good idea. I stand behind it to help the clubs out. I think it was a great resolution that Don put together, so I support it. So, all right, moving on to
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I would like to, again, reiterate that in my discussion with the chief of police, he stated that he was cautioned against this resolution. And I just wanted to make sure that the council is fully aware of his concerns. He voiced his concerns to me personally. Basically, one of the concerns, obviously, is that if the city is not in control of these events, that it could cause unnecessary overtime in his department. So I know we have a representative from the department here, and I would defer to him for further comment. Again, I am not for or against it. I am just voicing concerns brought to me. And if the officer here wants to continue the discussion, then I'd like to hear from him.
Lieutenant Pekulski, do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, I've spoken to the chief about this, and he's told me that he's not opposed to up to 6 events. And until the current restrictions are lifted and everybody can be at 100 capacity inside as far as coronavirus. Another concern is the number of noise complaints and other neighborhood issues that the increase in outside events will cause.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. We had this discussion last night, with the council, and, I touched base with everybody. I know that we touched base with the police chief, and I think are all these clubs going to use 6 outside events? Probably not. But any way that we can help them out, because they do give back to the community, and I understand the concern from everybody about the waterfront area and the bars and the businesses down there too. But this is only for the summer of 2021, and again, I back this. I think it's a good resolution. I'm not speaking for everybody on the council, but I just want to say that, that's where I stand with this issue. So, thanks.
The thing I would like to add is what the mayor said, is that it's not a city-sponsored event. Well, if anything breaks out in any one of the drinking establishments down on the waterfront, and you need to call in backup of overtime, that's not a city-sponsored event either. I mean, just one hand, just don't go there with that one. It's just, there are bars, there's gonna be things that are gonna be happening. Who knows with the construction on Lakeshore Drive, what's gonna happen with all the waterfront businesses down there? And if they're gonna be able to conduct business as normal.
Yeah, and that's another thing, we gotta, like I said before, we gotta try to help everybody out there, so.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clear the air. I am not for or against this resolution. And as far as the responsibilities of our police department, they do a wonderful professional job. They are responsible for providing public safety in all city events, period. So regardless of whether it's a city event or not a city event, if there are issues there that require police involvement, they will be there. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nothing.
I'll wait till the meeting so they can be on the record.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on to new business. I need a motion to adjourn so we can get to the public hearing.
Nichols.
So move.
By Williams, second by Bomano. Clerk call the roll.
Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols, Councilmember,
Aye, carried. Workshop is adjourned. Excuse me. All right, Edwin, we'll just go right into the public hearing.
I'll read that right now, sir. Notice of public hearing. Please take notice that at a regular meeting of the City of Dunkirk Common Council held on May 4th, 2021, resolution number 28, 2021 was presented to the Common Council, which resolution is entitled Local Law Number 4, 2021, City of Dunkirk, New York, the local law to amend Chapter 31 fees, Article 1, Recreation Services Fee Schedule, Section 31-2 entitled Fee Schedule, Rental of Pavilions at Point Gratiot of the Dunkirk City Code. Please take further notice that a public hearing will be held on Resolution 28, 2021 on Tuesday, May 18, 2021 at 5:20 p.m. in the Common Council chambers to hear any and all interested parties. Due to the COVID restriction pandemic, all interested parties can submit comments for the public hearing to the council at council@cityofdunkirk.com or at the city clerk's office between noon Tuesday, May 18th until Tuesday, May 18th at noon. All interested persons must include their first and last name as well as their home address and with their comments.
So did we have anybody respond to this for the public hearing, Edwin?
Nobody came in about this at all.
Hey, people, we're getting a lot of background check. Can you please check your phone with people that are at home? I'm getting a lot of background noise. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else has any comments on the public hearing? Anybody
May I
else?
comment, sir?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, this is based on private citizen Edwin Ramos, and also my experiences here. So during the during the COVID, everybody's having issues with money and it's just tight out. I am all for the $50 deposit because the $50 deposit will be returned to these individuals once they return the key and they return the kitchen in good condition. I would caution against raising the rates to the $25 for the fee of the kitchen. Everybody's hurting from COVID, and it's not just any individuals or any groups. Everybody is hurting from COVID, and right now we're going to ask them to fork over an additional $75 at the desk, and they will only be $50 returned to them if they do everything right. So I just need to say that it's going to be tough for them to do that during COVID right now.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Duly noted. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, I'd like to close the public hearing portion of this. Clerk, call the roll.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Williams,
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Yeah.
Councilmember Nichols,
Here.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Here, please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
And when we do go through the walk-in resolution, make sure that we do read that about the loudspeaker permits for the social clubs, correct?
Absolutely. I
I
can
just
read it.
I didn't want to just read it through the workshop, but we'll make sure that everybody knows what's going on and, the differences of opinions and stuff, so everyone has a fair shake on it, all right?
I agree, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. Certification of prior meetings.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, May 4th, 2021 was presented to the mayor on Friday, May 14th, 2021. Pursuant to section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness where I have here to set my hand in the seal of the city of Dunkirk, New York, this 18th day of May, 2021.
Need a motion dispensing the reading of the minutes
Nichols.
So moved.
by Nichols, second by Williams.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Excuse me. Reading of the privilege of the floor regulations and the privilege of the floor. You got anything for tonight, Edwin?
Sir, I have two letters. One, I personally flubbed, and I would like to apologize to everybody. It was a letter that came in time for the last meeting that was not read at the last meeting. And I have another letter that came in for this meeting from the same couple. So I will read those letters with your permission.
Yeah, those are the ones you sent me last night.
That's correct, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is from Carl and Sue Liz. This is subject to be read at the upcoming May council meeting. To the taxpayers of the city of Dunkirk, on the advice of legal counsel, we are unable to provide any comments on the accusations made against us. When these accusations are legally settled, we will comment. Thank you. Carl and Sue Liz. It says, everyone throughout the county already knows our address courtesy of WDOE and other various forms of social media. So that was from the last meeting. This letter that came in for this meeting from the same couple, it is to the city of Dunkirk taxpayers. We have contacted legal counsel to provide options once the baseless accusations and allegations against us, the mayor and the DPW director have been settled. On the advice of our legal counsel, we will not make any further comments until this investigation has been resolved. Carl and Sue List, 10 Finch Street.
Anything
That
else?
concludes privilege of the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you. Communications from the mayor, including disapproval messages. Mayor.
I just have a few announcements. The new kayak launch at the pier. There's a new handicap accessible kayak launch will be installed this week at the pier. This new launch will provide easier access for people of all abilities and skill levels to access the lake. The city was awarded a tree maintenance grant very recently. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation recently awarded the city a $50,000 grant for tree maintenance. These funds will be used to hire a certified arborist who will prune and remove trees identified in our tree inventory and management plan. It also provides funding to replant an additional 14 trees to replace what will be removed. I'd like to recognize the efforts of our new Planning and Development Director, Jill Moe, and her team. Also, the NRG stacks removal. You may have noticed that NRG is in the process of removing the 2 smaller stacks from their facility. They are removing these as a proactive measure to avoid any future potential damage. If anyone is interested in learning more about NRG and the future of that facility, there will be a public presentation of the NRG feasibility and reuse study at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 8th at the Firemen's Training Grounds or via Zoom. The link will be posted on the cityofdunkirk.com website. Also like to remind everyone that the school board elections are today. The polls are open until 9 p.m. I encourage everyone to go and vote. And also wish want to wish everybody a good Memorial Day. Our Memorial Day ceremonies will be at the Lighthouse at 8:30 a.m. as well as Memorial Park at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, communications, public and petitions. Number 1.
Yes, sir. Number 1, request from the Dunkirk Lighthouse Board inviting Mayor Rosas and the council members to their 33rd annual Memorial Day services on Monday, May 31st, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. at the Dunkirk Lighthouse grounds.
Yeah, that's a great ceremony. Hopefully everybody can attend. So we'll receive and file that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Number 2, request from James A. Moscato II of 280 Lakeshore Drive West to purchase an unopened paper street on West Point Drive, West Point Avenue.
Any discussion, council? I'd like to refer this to the city assessor, Erica Munson, and city attorney.
So move.
By Williams, second by Nichols. Clerk call the roll.
Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols, Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenhoover.
Aye, carried.
Number 3, request from Josh Latona of L. Rigby Theater requesting the use of Memorial Park for its movies, 2021 movies on the Lake Series on the following dates: June 19th, June 25th, July 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, possible rain date July 30th, August 6th, 13th, and 20th. Also requesting the use of electricity and requesting trans cans for volunteer cleanup. Also, I got a communication from the Juneteenth committee, and they would only request that Mr. Latono would have a movie that would be conducive to the younger people, and they would allow him to do his movies at the same time as their event.
Great.
Okay, so Edwin, so if you could just reach out to Joshua and then coordinate with the Juneteenth, and if that's what the, if he agrees to that, we're all good with that. So that'd be great.
Absolutely, sir.
Just confirm that just on both parties, and we'll go from there. Any other discussion, council? All right, I need a motion to refer this to the city attorney, parks department, and city clerk. By Nichols, second by Williams.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 4, loudspeaker applications from Friends of Don Williams Jr. to use speakers and a microphone on June 8, 2021 from 5 p.m. until 7 p.m. at the Brooks Pavilion of Point Gratiot for a fundraising event.
Any discussion, council? So the next ones are pretty much my usual, so I'm just gonna say that, but all of them, I need a motion to refer this to appropriate departments as well as approved subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions.
Sure.
I got a first
Yep.
by Stoll, second by Nichols. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
So those are all my loudspeaker applications, correct, sir?
Uh,
You gotta be
so,
kidding.
no, I mean, what do you mean, Edwin? Yeah, you got like, I'm just
sorry.
gonna say-
I
I'm just gonna-
misunderstood.
that's all right. No,
We
I was just
have in
gonna
the
say
past,
instead of-
unless there was any controversy, we have in the past grouped all the loudspeaker applications.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we just go through them just so.
If we're
make
gonna do
sure
them
that-
individually, I have no issues with that either, sir.
I'll tell you what, for the next meeting, we'll do that,
All
but
locked up on us.
what's that? You guys good?
I
Can you
think his
hear me?
phone's locked up.
We can hear you.
Councilmember Larch?
Yes.
Okay, you locked up for us on that.
Okay, so what we're planning on doing, why don't we just, for tonight, we'll just go through them, but I won't read, I'll just read, just say my usual, so just to make sure that people are aware of, they're getting okay for this.
Number
Go ahead,
5,
thanks.
loudspeaker application from McKenna Academy of Dance for the youth amplifier on June 10th through 12th, 2021, from 7 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. at the Brooks Pavilion of Point Gratiot Park for a dance recital.
Any discussion, council? Be my usual. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 6, loudspeaker application from Shauna Ippolito to use speakers and an amp on June 19, 2021, from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the Cooks Pavilion for Point Gratiot Park for a birthday party.
Be my usual, be first by Vamano, second by Nichols. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 7, loudspeaker application from Joshua Latona of El Rigby Theater to use speakers beginning June 19, 2021, from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. at Memorial Park for movies on the lake.
Yeah, this is again, Edwin, the date, the 19th that we discussed in the workshop. If
Correct.
everything coordinates for them, we're gonna vote on this, but if there's a date change, just let us know on that. Just get back to us. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
it. First by Vamano, second by Williams. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto, Councilmember Bamanto, Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl, Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 8, loudspeaker application from Christine Cruz Keefe to use DJ equipment and the speakers on July 3rd, 2021, from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. at the Lowe's Fort grounds of Point Gratiot Park for a birthday party.
Be my usual conditions. First by Vamano, second by Williams.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 9, loudspeaker application from Fritz Bocher on behalf of the First Ward Falcon Club to use speakers and sound equipment from June 1st, 2021 to October 1st, 2021, 6 to 11 p.m. outside functions. This has been amended for June 5th and September 4th and 5th.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, it'll be under my usual conditions also. First by Williams, second by Nichols.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 10, loudspeaker application from Kim Ruiz of 24 East Front Street to use DJ equipment on July 3rd, 2021 from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. for a graduation party.
It'd be the same conditions. I need a motion to be by Bamanto, second by Williams. Clerk call the roll.
Council Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 11, loudspeaker application from Raymond Roses on behalf of the Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival to use microphone speakers and amps for DJs and live bands on Saturday, on September 4th through 5th, 2021, from 12 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. on the lot adjacent to the Clarion and Tim Hortons for our first annual Waterfront Hispanic Music Festival.
Any discussion? I know that we had some in the workshop, so Edwin, if you and the city attorney could get together, just to make sure that we are following. There was some concerns on the 10
Yes,
and a
sir.
half hours, of playing down there, but if we need to adjust, we'll adjust for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I will, sir.
Sponsored by Williams, seconded by Bamanto. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 12, loudspeaker application from Scott Meekus on behalf of the Marauder Trotter to use microphones and speaker system on July 3rd, 2021 from 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Wright Park for music and announcements during the event.
It'd be the same, my usual conditions, sponsored by Romano, second by Williams. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 13, request from Scott Meekus to host the 6th annual Marauder Trotter 5K Run Walk on Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. We are requesting the use of the race route along the Lake Erie waterfront with the involved Wright Park, Lakefront Boulevard, the Pier, Memorial Park. We are requesting assistance from the Dunkirk Police Department from 8:45 a.m. till 9:45 a.m. for the beginning of the race and the near Pier crossing by Dimitri's.
Any discussion, council? I know that we did speak in the workshop again on this. We spoke to Lieutenant Pokulski, and he is looking, it's the same as Councilman Bomano stated, it's the same route that they use the previous years. They're just gonna need a little help from escorting from the police department. So I need a motion to refer this to the city attorney, Parks Department, and also Police Chief Dave Ortolano. First by Bomano, second by Stoyl.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 14, request from Jesse McKenna on behalf of McKenna Dance Academy of Dance requesting permission to use the Brooks Pavilion for their annual dance recital on June 11th and 12th at 7 p.m. and rehearsals will take place on June 9th and 10th from 5 to 8 p.m. June 12th will be held at the lower pavilion. All social distancing requirements will be observed and insurance will be provided as necessary.
Any discussion, council? I'd like to refer this to the city attorney, city clerk's office, and also Parks Department. First by Nichols, second by Stoyl.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Okay, I have a walk-on, sir.
Yep.
This is from the First Ward Falcons Club Fast Pitch Tournament. It was okayed originally through the council for July 16th, 17th, and 18th. Tim Dovias reached out to me last night and told me that another major tournament opened up on those days and his teams jumped ship on him. So the request is, dear council members, on behalf of the First Ward Falcons Club, I would like to request the use of the stadium, School 7 and Cook's softball fields on July 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2021. The purpose of this request is for the 45th annual First Ward Falcons Fast Pitch Softball Tournament. Thank you, Tim Doviak, Chairman.
Yeah, so like I said, you know, I know that Tim did get a hold of Parks Department, and Patty did get a hold of me, Patty Plashewski, and I told her to get a hold of contact, make sure the dates were good with them and with you, Edwin, with the city clerk's office. So if everything's good, we'll just amend those dates, and then we'll okay that.
Sounds good.
Any other discussion on that, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Oh, that was a lot, Edwin. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilman Williams.
Director Woodbury, want to know if you had any update on when and how anything's going to happen for the drainage behind the east side of the street, backyards of the east side of the street of Otter Street?
Sure, Councilman. The in that whole area of Owls, Otter, and Rabbit, you and I and the engineering technician have mapped out some things. The first thing we did was a long-awaited extension of Cedar Street into the Wright Park area. That's under contract. We didn't get to the drainage project we wanted to do last year. I would say that was primarily COVID related, but the engineering technician does have a plan that I've agreed with, and we want to extend the drainage structures and clean out the pipes over in that area you talked about. We talked about that this afternoon, about how we can improve the north-south drainage, and you also reminded me to improve the east-west drainage. So I'll go over that with the engineering technician tomorrow, and I'll give you a report on some kind of a timetable to get that done. We've thought about it. We were going to coordinate it with the Villa project. That's been set behind too. We certainly would all like to see that happen, but we agree that there's some ponding and things like that can be taken care of with the right structure, and I want to go out to bid and get that done.
All right, thanks. Just to put on the record too, I forget what year it was. I know it was a few years back. The planning committee met about that development that was going to go back there, the Battery Park Villas or whatever, apartments, whatever they're calling it. At that time, there was a promise made to all the residents there that we would take care of the drainage back there, and so they are waiting for it. Councilman Vandenboer met me over in that area last week, and we met with a couple residents there, and they do have some issues. We walked the length of it. A lot of it needs to be cleaned out. There's one property has been purchased by an individual that lives there. Bought part of the paper street, but prior to that, we were supposed to be getting drainage done there. So hopefully we're still going to be able to get in there and get that. This isn't going to be like the tree incident. This is well documented. I believe that the gentleman was promised drainage to be fixed back there along with the rest of the neighborhood. And he bought the property with the expectation of there's supposed to be drainage done by the city. So I believe that that's a lot different situation, and just wanted that on the record so there's not a problem later in the future. Also, have you been down South Jerboa Street lately and It's pretty rough down there. I'd like to know if there's anything we can do down there to fix that up, to smooth it out for the parishioners that go to church there and the people that live down through there.
Sure. Thanks for reminding me about that one. Some other utilities have worked in that area. We're going to coordinate with them. Anything that's our responsibility. We do have some snowplow damage to take care of, and there are some other utilities that we'll work with. These are very good people we get along with, and right now that particular utility is doing lawn restoration in the second ward and doing an excellent job on it, and I expect the same thing to happen over on South Jerboa. So it's something we're going to get to. We'll work with them. And then just a point on your other issue too over on Otter. At that planning board meeting, we agreed to do that drainage in conjunction with the developer. But since that's kind of behind, the city will go ahead and do its part of it. So I'd like you and the residents there to know that we'll at least do the city part of it. And we'll keep an eye on the developer hopefully when they get started again, and make sure they tie in and do their detention basins and ditches and things like that the way the planning board approved. So that's probably the delay, but I totally agree with what we promised, and we'll make it happen. Thank you.
All right, thanks. And then also, Randy, the speed limit signs around like the 7 school area, Little League field area that we passed, they're still not all up. If we can get those fixed, I don't want this to turn into the street light at or the red light at Roberts and Second. I really don't want to keep asking at every meeting about it. If we could get the signs up there, we passed that almost a year ago, and it should be by now.
And there was a good development today on that. We're lucky to have senior account clerk Patty Plashevsky working with Parks and Recreation this summer, and she did a photo inventory along with Andy Bone today of all the signs in the parks so that we can fix the ones that are faded, put up the ones that are missing, get all the regulations there so we can have minimal signage but accurate signage so the police can enforce it. So I'd like to thank Patty and Andy for doing that inventory today, and they're going to have it. The same type of inventory that we're doing with the Adopt a Garden will be developed for those park signs. So good action today with those two individuals and supervised by Jason Sislevich. So thank you.
I'm not meaning just the park rules sign. I'm meaning the speed limit signs.
They're doing an inventory of all signs in the parks.
Okay, it's been a while since we passed that, so it'd be nice to get the speed limit signs up and posted correctly. Then what's the progress on the street light that's on Fairview Avenue?
We've communicated with the LED people and the contractor that's fixing them in the meantime. We're hoping that particular light can be one of them that the LED company, instead of fixing the old incandescent bulb in it, that we will transfer it over to LED. So right now I'd like to take this opportunity to do a shout out to our master electrician, who's Mike Probition, who's healing from a procedure, and he's off for a few days. Normally he would be right on this, but we're going to help him out while he's recovering, and I will make sure this one gets done as fast as possible in order to help Mike out. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Also, I'd like to announce that the Dunkirk Labor Council, in conjunction with the Western New York Area Labor Federation, are working with the Teamsters to try to get a pop-up vaccination clinic at Wells. So hopefully that happens pretty soon. And then just to talk a little bit about the resolution that's going to be coming up here that we're walking in. If anybody remembers, back when COVID hit and we were getting some money to give to some of the small businesses and everything, I had been asking about how we can help the clubs. They weren't eligible for any of that money, as when Clerk Ramos reads the resolution. Everybody will hear how the resolution is written and how it explains how well the clubs work with the city. I'd also like to throw in there, if Chief Edwards is on here, if he could let us know a little bit about how the fire department was able to get some of the infrared cameras that they got. Chief, are you on?
I am. Actually, we took delivery of those cameras today. So that was nice contribution by the First Ward Falcon Club. And just like all the other departments, and I actually spoke to Chief Ortolano today about a different subject, and he expressed his gratitude to all the clubs for the donations and a lot of the projects that the clubs are involved in. They certainly contribute civically, and this donation from the latest donation was from the First Ward Falcons, and we took delivery of 6 brand new thermal imaging cameras to replace some cameras that were about 15 years old. So,
and the cost of those was what, 10,000, I believe?
It was the total came to $10,000. Yes.
That, and then the other Polish clubs and veterans clubs through their bell jar sales, they donate a lot to everything in the city. We're just trying to get them something to earn some money and get some people around and do things at their clubs and get things kind of back to normal. And once the COVID regulations are lifted, then everybody's going to be back inside to what they would have been doing inside their clubs anyway. So just want to state some of that in there. And that's all I have for right now.
It's done?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Okay, sorry, I missed you on that one. My bad. Well, that's good. I like to say that's great, Chief Edwards. That's fantastic news that the First Ward donated that kind of money, and I'm glad you could put it something useful for your department and also for the residents of the city of Dunkirk. That's great. Great news. Thanks. This is the first I heard of it, so that's great. Okay, Councilman Bomano.
Yes, Randy, how things go on Albany Avenue today?
Good. I talked with a resident there, and he gave me a little bit of history on the pipe that is probably corroded and possibly damaged by some other activity there. And he knows that the pipe has been purchased. So we have a plan. I told him we're going to be working on a water line over on Lafayette Avenue. And so we'll have crews working with heavy equipment in that area, and we can take care of both of those things kind of at the same time. Build the water, on Lafayette Avenue, there's no adequate fire hydrants. Right. And the water lines are well over 100 years old, and they break a lot, and they also get turbid water. So that's a project that's overdue. Our guys are going to do that project. We have a grant that I was able to secure from the state health department to fix lines like that. It totals about $500,000, and this is the first one we're going to be doing. It kind of was on hiatus last year during COVID, but we're back on track. Curry and crew have ordered the parts. We're ready to go on that, and we'll address the drainage issues over on Albany Avenue at the same time.
Randy, thanks for looking into that Albany Avenue issue. Any updates on Lucas Avenue, 6th Street, 7th Street?
Sure. A lot of calls from the residents noticing that there's a lot more fire hydrants there than there used to be. So there are some hydrants in that area. They might notice that they're all got black caps on them. So they're not, all the hydrants in the city that have a black cap are not usable by the fire department. They're usable for maybe flushing the line. But it's going to increase the fire protection in that area of West 7th Street. We're going to do a new line on West 6th Street between Marauder Drive and McKinley as well. And it's going to replace a major artery line that we found to be damaged when the brownfield at Altec Lucas Avenue was taken down. We were not able to put that 20-inch line back in service, so we're replacing it with a consent order project. It's a main line to feed the Willowbrook tank, the new project there. And just reminds me that there's a meeting in the North County Water District this Thursday, and we're going on several years. It's a really good partnership with neighboring communities, and this water line we're doing through the second ward is a backup feed to the North County Water District going west, and also a backup feed to the Willowbrook tank. So a lot of good news over there. I'd like to thank the fire chief for working with me on identifying where we can gradually build out a better fire protection system. And this is one of those things that we identified, and we'll get to more as time goes on. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. And one more thing, what's the update on the potholes in the city?
The blacktop plant recently opened. Mike and Perpelia and crew are going to start in the third ward. There's a lot of potholes on the Williams and Main Street area. We're going to dress up that intersection along the bend on Main Street. It needs to be fixed, so they're starting there tomorrow, and then they're going to work their way out from there. So now that the plant's open, we're going to go full speed ahead. We can hold 6 tons of hot mix in our hot box. We're one of the only communities around that has a new roller that Mike was able to acquire from a municipality in Pennsylvania. It's in very good condition, so we're going to be able to do these auto repairs with excellent equipment and, of course, the excellent crew. And that'll get started tomorrow.
Okay. Randy, thank you very much for everything. Councilman, that's all I have for tonight.
Marty, I have a question for you on that Albany Avenue. Was that the end of Albany?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think if that's a problem that that the company that I'm employed by, if that's our problem, let me know and I'll take care of that.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks. Okay, thanks, Councilman Straw.
Yeah, excuse me. Joe, I'd like you to look into a situation on the end of the 700 block of Columbus Avenue, one of our favorite streets, both the police departments and the public.
Okay.
And the last time, well, Mike, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the last time we talked about this, I'd like to get that house torn down. The neighbors in that area would like to, especially the ones on Deer Street, they would like to get that house torn down. But Dave, at that time, I think there were some other law enforcement agencies interested in the property. I'm sure you know what I mean. But Mike, did you hear me?
Were you trying to get Judge?
Lieutenant.
Oh, Michael Coulson.
He's muted.
Muted. Mike, unmute.
Got it.
You got it? Mike,
Yeah.
I was mentioning there's a residence on the end, on the 700 block of Columbus Avenue. Right at it's right at the bottom, or at the top of it. When we started this thing, there's neighbors from Deer Street. They'd love to see this thing taken down, but at that time, when we were talking about getting it torn down, there were some other police agencies, law enforcement, were interested in the property.
I see.
Is that still the case, or can we try to push to get this thing annihilated?
I am not aware if that's still the case, but I can look into that and certainly get back to you on it. I'm not totally positive if that's still an ongoing issue or not.
Yeah, there was quite a few other interested parties. And Joe, if possible, could you try to find some way to tear this sucker down? This thing is awful. The neighbors on Deer Street are volunteering. And Al, come to here, Al. Can you get your contractors in there and do the lawn and the 700 block of Columbus, the last residents. You did it last year, and the guys over on Deer Street were very happy. And then they go in and clean up around the trees, but they don't want to go in there if they don't know what kind of critters are running around down there.
Yeah, it's on our list to take care of.
Thank you very much. I'm good with that. If I can get that done, I know a few neighbors over there that'll be happy.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks, Lieutenant. That's it for me, Paul.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Nichols?
Yes, Glenn Allen, and it's wonderful to see all these long overdue neglected houses coming down. Questions from the neighbors on the different streets is what's going to be happening to the parcels of land that are now vacant from the no longer neglected houses being there.
Every situation is different because there's different stages of ownership. The majority of the ones that have been taken down recently have been done by the land bank, so they were in control of these. So depending on how that works out, it could take some time to get the ownership cleared out and may need to go through the next tax sale at the county also. So
Great answer for him. Now, just as a can you let everyone know just about how many of the courtesy letters that your department has sent out regarding tall grass in our city?
Since I've been here, this has been the busiest year we've had, and I don't have an exact count, but it's pushing 300 notices that we've sent out to various homeowners in the city to cut the grass. Now, granted, this time of year is a challenge, because of rain and people don't get their mowers out as quick as they should, but it's been an especially busy year. But we've been very proactive to stay on top of it so it doesn't get out of hand. So we just called contractors today with a long list to start getting these cut on the ones that haven't been done by the owners. So,
Rich, I've got a question for you. And are we making any headway on the boat ownership down behind the boardwalk?
I'm sorry, say again, Nancy?
Are we making any headway finding the ownership of the boats down behind the boardwalk to get them removed from there?
It depends if they have VIN numbers. If they have VIN numbers, we can go through the DMV. Some of them are old enough that you don't even have a registered VIN number. So those are the tough ones to find any ownership on. And we've been consulting with the state comptroller's office on how to handle those. It may be they have a process for abandoned property. We may have to defer to them.
Do we have any idea how long, or are we just going to get put on the back burner for that and they'll sit there for another 10 years? I mean, I'm worried about the people that are living on the boats that are using them as their sleeping quarters, it's their personal property. And if you understand what I'm saying, it's just, if we can get them moved out of there, I mean, it's just, we don't want to have to rely on the police department to shag them out because they've got more important things to do than that. But we just need to get those things moved out of there.
Okay.
It's an eyesore. Randy, as we're saying about potholes, I hope you've not lost the list that I've given you of the 4th Ward streets that I presented to you some weeks ago. And especially down in the alley, there's one street down there that has not been touched in 35 years with a good going over. I hope you don't put it by the wayside. Those poor people down there are being very patient. Question for you. Oh, caught you having a sip. That's okay. Are we still doing the permits for the lawn care contractors dropping off items down at Lucas Avenue, the brush piles?
We are doing permits, ma'am, for contractors. They come into the city clerk's office and pay here, and we give them a tag for their window. And they are able to dump at Lucas Avenue.
Okay, now is our new lady that's down there checking that, making sure they do have that? I think that's going on back on Randy. Is she checking to make sure that they are authorized to have that permit?
Councilwoman, yeah, let me address that. She's still getting up to speed on the processes. She's a very conscientious worker, and I thank her for doing that. She's a seasonal worker, and I will make sure that she does all of those things you talked about. And then going back to the potholes, I know sometimes we start in Ward 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting potholes in Ward 3 this year, and then maybe we'll move over to Ward 4 for the second round. So we'll shake it up a little bit. There's no reason to have to go in numerical order and leave the fourth ward to last all the time. So
thank you. Thank you.
I'll let you know about it. I agree. And then on the other issue, we'll take care of that too.
Thank you. I touched base with our canine control officer the other day, and how her latest rabies clinic went. They did 75 pre-registered critters. And this clinic, and the first one she did 143. So I asked her in our conversation, how long does it take her to prepare for one of these? And she said roughly 80 hours. With doing all the state and city and county regulations. Is there any way that she could get any kind of a stipend for her time that she puts together for this important event? I know we gave Jill part of a little bit to fill in for Rebecca. I didn't know if that money was still available for the canine control. Just a question.
That would probably be a question more appropriately asked at a finance committee meeting, but we didn't budget any funds for these extra duties. So at this point, I don't have anything budgeted for it. That doesn't mean that we can't decide to offer something for that. She is doing a lot more than what we were getting before. However, we do have her under contract to perform these duties for the city. So I would just remind you that there is a contract in place with her to provide these duties. But if this is something that the council would like to do, then we should probably have a further discussion on this at a finance committee meeting.
Okay, in her contract, it does state that she will conduct and hold and organize the rabies clinics for the city or the residents of the area.
So in her contract, what we do have is the expectation that these duties are part of her job. As far as her providing that is something that we don't force her to do. However, we do appreciate it and we compensate her for doing a job. If the council would like to provide, again, more financial support to her for doing this, then again, we should discuss this a little further in a finance committee meeting.
I think that's up to you, Judge. It's in your corner. You can handle that one. The last question, Mayor, is I asked at the last council meeting, and then I did leave message on your at your office last Thursday regarding Camp Gross and what the status of that is. We've got parents that are inquiring on it. If their children are going to be able to attend it, and if it is indeed going to happen. And you said you thought it would be happening at our last council meeting, but you've not returned the call from last Thursday to me. Do we know what we're doing on that, or is that a no-go?
Absolutely. This has been very public, and I just want to remind the public if they have any questions, they can call my office, or currently the development department would be the person to call. The position that handles those duties is currently vacant. We are in the process of filling that position. But as I said before, the Camp Gross is something that we intend to do. We are planning to do it. And unless the state guidelines provide that we can't do it, we were going to be moving forward to do it.
Well, we shouldn't probably wait. I mean, if you just reached out to the parties in charge up there and let them know what the intention is, just so that they know that there is an interest from the city of Dunkirk, that would be.
The city of Dunkirk has reached out to them, and they are fully aware of our status.
All right, I hope people just watch this and heard you say that to contact the office that you'd get back to them because when I called last Thursday, I didn't get a response back from you. So that's all I'm going to say, Paul. Thanks.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to respond that the message that was left did not call for me to recontact the councilwoman. But you do have my personal cell number, and I do spend a lot of time away from the office. So if you need to contact me, I'll remind you that you can contact me directly through my cell phone. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to, yeah, Randy, so I was out with Councilman Williams on the East Side Otter. We met with a bunch of residents and we walked the whole property, you know, in the front and the back and the sides. It seems like there's, looking at the drainage, the sluice pipe and everything, the drainage from the back to the front where it's supposed to be going, it seems like it's plugged in, you know, and it seems like it's our responsibility. It's our equipment. You know, the gentleman and the neighbors came out and they did say that you promised that you would fix this. So, I mean, if we can take special attention to this and see if we can take care of this for these people, you know, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, thanks.
The other thing is that the lakefront behind the high rise, last meeting they said that you're going to take care of the sand and, you know, on the sidewalk that's and all the debris back there so they can start walking and riding their bikes and taking their kids back there. They said nothing has been done since our last meeting. I did receive a phone call last night. I was wondering what the status is on that, Randy.
I'd like to thank Parks worker Billy Kuras for taking a loader down there yesterday and doing an excellent job. And then Lee Woodard was on there on the beach today, backblading the sand to get it away from the wall so it doesn't come up over. So it might have been that the neighbors didn't see these two workers down there, but we have been addressing it. It's also an issue where the sand gets airborne, and even though we do it once, we got to continue to do it until we can get a permanent fix on that. So we have been down there, and I encourage those residents to call me directly, and I'll dispatch Billy back down there, and I stand by the crews for doing it. And if it comes back again, then have them call me, and we'll go back and get the sand again. So until we can get that wall fixed, it's going to be an ongoing problem. And it's not the wall part. It's behind the high rise where everything is back there. So I mean, if we can clean that property up so they can get back there and, you know, have their kids and, you know, and their family functions back there, so they can at least walk and ride their bicycles back there. Okay, we'll take care of that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. That's all I got. Moving on, unfinished business.
Number 1, resolution number 28 of 2021, resolution for local law number 4-2021, City of Dunkirk, New York, a local law to amend Chapter 31 fees, Article 1, Recreation Services Fee Schedule, Section 31-2, entitled Fee Schedule, Rental of Pavilions at Point Gratiot of the Dunkirk City Code.
Need a motion to take it off the table?
So move.
By Williams. Second by Nichols.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Any discussion on resolution 28, 2021? Seeing none, to vote on the motion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Pre-file resolution.
Number 31, resolution authorizing lease to purchase one vehicle for police department through state bid PC 68978.
Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 32, resolution approving settlement of City of Dunkirk versus MidFirst Bank and Midland Mortgage, a division of MidFirst Bank.
Any discussion, council? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 33, resolution authorizing agreement for consultant services for City of Dunkirk Brownfield Marketing Project, CNS Engineers Incorporated.
Any discussion, council? Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
34, resolution authorizing mayor to execute an agreement with Costello Waste Services for Packer lease.
Any discussion, council? I do have something, Randy, I want to ask, in Marcia, I was wondering if you can give me for the next common council meeting, year to date, what we spent on this, on our services through, Bestway and Casali now.
Sure.
It just seems like, $150 an hour. It just seems like it's quite a bit of money, and it seems like they're in the city quite a bit. We're utilizing them. Is there any way that we could, I know that we've been talking about new equipment, but we've been talking about new equipment for a year and a half now, and I haven't seen one piece of equipment. And it's tough to spend $150 an hour, on contractual services for garbage pickup when, we could find $30,000 for fireworks and we could find other money for someone else. But, I look at these guys over at Lucas Avenue and the parks, and they're driving around in junk. And it seems like we're spending more money in contractual services than we are to try to update the fleet, which we've been asking for. This council has been asking for since day one. So.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
No, carried.
Number 35, resolution authorizing engineering services for installation of ventilation system at wastewater treatment plant.
Any discussion, council?
Yeah, Paul, I'd just like Randy to briefly just discuss what we did in the workshop on this with the air quality.
Sure, Councilwoman. The new bell presses are doing an excellent job. We altered the contract to make sure that the doors that would service the presses are openable in the summertime. And in order to get good air quality to the workers up there, we've hired another engineering company to re-engineer the ventilation system. And we're locked and loaded and ready to do that. We have a good contractor down there. I'd like to supply the workers that have complained about this, and we agree with them, good air quality around that. And I've also assured Councilman Williams that we're not going to offset one problem and give it to the neighbors. We're going to clean the air and then keep the air clean for the people working near these new presses that are working very well. So it's going to be a benefit to the employees and not hurt the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried.
Number 36 is a walk-on resolution authorizing increase in number of events for loudspeaker permits for social clubs, summer 2021 only. At your request, I will read that in its entirety.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Walk-in resolution number 36-2021, May 18, 2021 by council members Nichols and Williams, authorizing increase in number of events for loudspeaker permits for social clubs, summer 2021 only. Whereas the city's loudspeaker permit applications allow for up to 3 events per application outside of the harborfront area. And whereas the city of Dunkirk has numerous social clubs outside of the harborfront area that have struggled with COVID-19 related restrictions to remain viable since March 2020. And whereas due to social clubs' unique nonprofit member organization structures, they were not eligible for many of the federal and state small business assistance programs and funding that have passed and have been available since last year. And whereas social clubs add to the viability of the city community as a fundraiser and sponsor of leagues, scholarships, events, and the like. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this council is allowing for a temporary increase in the number of events covered per loudspeaker permit application for social clubs to 6 for the spring and summer of 2021 only, good through the end of September.
Any discussion, council? I do have I just want to add a couple things that, there was some concerns brought up, with the mayor and Chief Ortolano and with the council. This is something that we got to work with everybody with. I do support the clubs and everything they do in the city of Dunkirk. I think this is a good thing just for 2021 for the summer. They had a couple more events to see if they can get back on their feet. So all in all, I think it's a good resolution, brought up by Councilman Williams. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Paul, and if you could just reiterate what Mike Edwards said on what local club did sponsor for fire department.
Yeah, sure. Chief Edwards, you just want to make a comment like you did during the workshop about what the club donated to the city of Dunkirk?
Yeah, recently we received a $10,000 donation from Fort Falcons to purchase thermal imaging cameras for the department.
We were able to find $10,000.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So recently we just received a $10,000 donation from the Fort Falcon Club to purchase thermal imaging cameras for the department. And throughout the year, I know the clubs, the Exempts Club, Monty's Club, Fourth Ward Falcons. I'm not going to mention all of them because actually we've received donations on a lot of different projects over the years by all of the social clubs in the city. Very civic minded. They'd like to see the money go back into the city and towards the fire department. And then speaking with Chief Ortolano today about something else, we had just received those cameras and I was talking to him about it. And he also expressed his gratitude to all the clubs and the donations that they do give to the police department also. So we're forever grateful to those clubs. I know the clubs are a big deal in the city of Dunkirk, and it does help our department and the police department, and of course other projects that have gone on throughout the city when we can get some of those donations to help us out.
Excellent. Thanks, Chief. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Williams,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Going under new business, I'd like to, I want to speak about just briefly on this lawsuit that came down. It was in the paper today. And I'd like to have the council that the members that were getting sued, if you guys want to say something tonight. I waited 1.5 years to say this tonight, so I think we have the right to be in the council meeting. First of all, I want to say thank you to our attorney, Dan Gard. He did a wonderful job. He believed in the council, the 4 members, that we were doing the right thing. So I thought about reading a little bit and marking some stuff down over the weekend when we found out Friday that the judge ruled in the council's favor. So I just want to take a couple minutes just to read something I wrote down. So, in March of 2020, Don Williams, Nancy Nichols, Judge Stoyl, and I were sued by the mayor, the city attorney, and Dave Campola. The interesting thing about this lawsuit was it was based on a law which never existed and an action that was never taken. Dave Campola's case was based on his position of Human Resources Director being included in section 2.3 of the city charter. The problem is that it was not. Even their lawsuit included an exhibit of a copy of the charter, which the position was not even included. When we raised the issues to the city attorney, filed his version of the charter and an affidavit swearing his personal knowledge that the position was included in the charter. So we all sat down, we checked in the clerk's office, the official copy of the charter, but the language wasn't there. We checked with the state, but the language was never filed. So we asked them where they got the mythical language. We were told that it only appears in a city attorney's private copy of the charter. We asked them again. When they filed the language with the state, they said they didn't have to. The city attorney claim was based on the idea that he was removed from his position. The problem is that he was not. Yes, it is true that we do have some issues with Moroso. Knowledge about their ability and the city attorney. This litigation is a perfect example. The city attorney needs to be familiar with the laws affecting the operation of the city. Laws like municipal home rule laws, which requires local laws to be filled with the state and the city clerk's office. The fact that this gentleman seems blissfully unaware of these simple legal requirements and arrogant enough about it to submit his personal version to a court along with his sworn affidavit, it's a problem. The fact that he believes that the proper for the official charter to be located solely on his private server, immune from public inspections, is a problem. Ultimately, the fact that his apparent ignorance of these issues formed the basis of a lawsuit against the council, costing the taxpayers again thousands of dollars. That's a problem. Why we did initially propose Moroso's removal after consulting with an attorney which is knowledgeable in these matters, we did not attempt to override the mayor's veto. This issue was dead before the litigation was even filed against us. And still, Moroso used tax dollars to pursue his claim. Again, that is a problem. The mayor claim was based on the idea that we were somehow trying to override his authority. His claim, based on the law which never existed and action that was never taken, appears to be supported solely by his ego. Throughout the litigation, we have been blamed for not working with the mayor, wasting energy on these issues. We heard it from the megaphones in front of City Hall. We've heard it from the folks down the Observer. We've heard it from the homeowner involved in the Perry Street scandal. So if failing to fall in line when this administration chooses to disregard the law and the facts while the taxpayers foot the bill for favoritism and egos, on behalf of council members Williams, Nichols, Stoyles, and myself, I plead guilty. We invite the residents to read the entire decision published in Chautauqua Today website and watch for the mayor's predictable attempts to hide the ball. So I've been waiting a year and a half to say that. And if any of the other council members want to mention anything about that were included in the lawsuit, feel free.
Hey, Paul, if I could have a minute, just to reiterate, the 4 council members named were not the people that brought this lawsuit and this extra cost to the city. It was the mayor, the city attorney, and former HR director Campola. The other thing I'd like to point out is this wasn't just a court ruling. This was a summary judgment ruling that it's very rare that a judge rules in favor of the summary judgment. I'd kind of liken it to a baseball pitcher pitching a perfect game. Yeah, sometimes it happens, but it's not something that always happens. And the reason why we were able to get this case dismissed before even really hitting court was because there was no fact and no basis in the lawsuit to begin with that cost the city taxpayers thousands of dollars brought to you by the city attorney, the mayor, and former HR director Campola.
Nancy?
I think you all said it. Don and I were sitting at a meeting, and I believe you were there as well. And the city attorney was sitting behind us, and Don will reflect on this. When he was hired for the city of Dunkirk, he did make the statement that he did not know anything about municipal law. Is that not true, Don? And that's where, I mean, Paul has said it all, Don has said it all. What more is there left to say?
All right, thank you. Judge?
No, you guys got it wrapped up. I mean, there was numerous times when we were asked to drop the case and we'll move on. Well, drop what? We didn't do it. We didn't start the case. And I told my fellow council people, I'm not dropping anything. We didn't start it. That's it.
All right, thank you. Motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Judge Doyle.
Second.
Paul, the
Right,
mayor
William.
would like to say something, I think.
Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, can I speak, please?
Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, may I please
Clerk call the
respond?
roll. Clerk call the roll.
Levanto,
Speak.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at large Vandenboer.
Aye, carried. Meeting's adjourned. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks. You too.
The Canadian.